Me, myself, and I. It is basically about self-concept. It is a self-concept presentation that I build up together, and it meets the requirements that were required from the instructor, from the professor. So my first or second slide, it is about me having positive attitude. I have such a very positive attitude because I spread positivity out in my little community, or if I go to the store or whatever it is, I always spread positivity. But you spreading positivity doesn't mean that, oh, hey, have a smile today. Like, no, you, by spreading positivity, you go to the store, you smile, and you can't really tell by the mask that we have on, but you walk into the store, if a person's looking at you, you're not at them like saying hi, they know that you're saying hi, and it spreads positivity. Why? Because they know that you're very respectful, and that you just have such a very positive attitude. And I believe I have a positive attitude in a lot of ways, and I know that I have accomplished that, and it's a good feeling, honestly. And by positive attitude, I know that when I see my difficult moments, I know that it's possible to do. Even though it's difficult, it's not impossible. And I've never gave up on anything. I've always said I can, as said in the picture. That is basically my mentality when it comes to something difficult. Like, you know what, I can do this. This is piece of cake for me. I'm gonna do it. And you may fail at the first time, but that's why you practice and you keep on trying and you keep on trying until you finally eventually get it. And so I believe I have positive attitude. My third slide is about social intelligence. Social intelligence is having you could say, having the power of reading other person's mind or knowing about another person without them telling themselves about yourself. For example, like, if I was to grab a group of people and they were to put me like what each person is to be capable of, I feel like I would be able to accomplish putting each thing with a person and making sure that it's right, if you get what I'm saying. I feel like I would be able to identify that. I also discovered that I had social intelligence back in high school when we would come down to projects. School projects were always fun, and usually I always thought that it was better to do independently, because sometimes people tend to do all of the work. Like, one person out of the whole group tends to do the heaviest work, and another one just gets there when they want, works on it when they want, and it's not like that. When I had to be group leader, I made sure that I knew who my group was. I had to choose wisely. I had to pick people that knew how to draw, people that knew how to write good, people that knew how to write super neat, people that had good ideas, people like that, in order to get a good grade on my assignments. Most of the times I've always scored 100 on those projects with other people. I was able to assign. I was always the captain, and I assigned like each job to each of them, and our projects were to come out very good, and everybody liked them. I had one of my projects go up to the district that they really liked, and that was a very good feeling to me and to my whole team. It was something that we accomplished, and it felt good, honestly. So you always know who to choose. If you have the option to choose, always know who to choose in your team. And if they choose, make sure you split the work evenly, and you know who to trust, and you pick the people that you know that are going to be there and not lag on the work. My fourth slide talks about me being nice and kind. I am a very nice and kind person. I consider myself nice and kind because like in school, there's always those popular kids, and there's always those kids that are always left out. You get me? Like those kids that are always like that people always bring down. And I'm not gonna lie, I was very like social with everybody. I was cool with the popular kids, and I was cool with everybody. And I knew I was nice and kind when I came across this girl. And this girl, she was gonna do a in front presentation, and she got anxiety or something like that, and she just broke down and started crying and walked out of class. I remember that I went up to her and I asked her, like, oh, like, why'd you walk out? Like, why'd you give up? And she was all like, oh, it's because, like, I get anxiety, like, everybody's looking at me and I feel like I'm not doing a good job. And I spread the kindness, and I told her the truth. I was like, you know what? Like, you're honestly doing a good job. I don't see why you're doubting yourself. Like, you had good ideas. You started off good. It's just until you got your anxiety and you began to stutter, and you began talking too fast, until you eventually broke down and started crying because you were scared. And I was able to maintain her laughing outside for a while. And she told me, well, she's like, can I ask you something? And I was like, yeah, go for it. Like, ask me whatever you'd like. And she asked me, she's like, how do you do it? And I was like, do what? And she's like, how are you always so happy? How do you do your presentations without being scared? Like you always do your presentations and you look at everybody and you do such a great job, and everybody tends to like your presentation. And I was like, see, honestly, it's not even that I like to do presentations. I don't like to stand up in front of everybody, but it's something that has to get done. And regardless, in life, we're going to face moments that we're not going to like, but we have to do it, you know? I was like, yeah, before I go up, I'm like over there on my desk, like kind of praying. I'm sweating my hands because I'm scared, I'm nervous. And I'm able to accomplish it once I'm up there. Once I'm up there and you start talking and you know what you're talking about, boom, you get everything good. You're able to maintain everything. So just when you go up there, you talk. Don't worry about anybody. Pretend like nobody's there. Look around so it looks like you're looking at them, and you just say what you know. If you need to glance at the whiteboard, glance at it, but try not to, and just let everything out that you know, because I know that you know so much. I was like, it's just your anxiety that beats you something. And at the end of the day, she was super happy. The next day, she was actually the first one to present, and she did it quite good. And she told me at the end, she was like, oh, thank you. She's like, you're the nicest person. Thank you for like telling me. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you don't need to thank me. It's just something that came out from my heart, you know, because how hard was it for me to have had just left her? But no, something told me, hey, you know what? I gotta go talk to her. So I stood up and I went to go talk to her, and luckily I was able to get that. A lot of teachers has told me that I'm a very nice person, that I have a very good personality, and I'm super helpful, and I think I am, honestly. Like, there's not a moment where I've seen somebody having a hard time and I don't offer my help or etc. My fifth slide talks about how I'm helpful. Like I previously said a few seconds ago, with the girl, yes, I helped her, so I consider that me being helpful. If I see a person raking leaves or picking up trash or whatever it is, I always offer my help. At the school, the janitor really appreciated me a lot, because he would always clean up after everybody. Everybody would leave their trash after eating, and I believe it was a hard job for a janitor, because they had to be cleaning up every single mess that they would leave. And I honestly saw that as unfair, because no janitor deserves that. The janitor's job is just to basically maintain the school site. It's not to clean up after us. That's not their job, and it's not their obligation. Their job is just to basically maintain it, to make it look representative, and to make it look clean. But not because they have to make it look clean, we have to make a mess for them to clean up. Like, no, that's not how it works. And I feel like I do it from my heart, because I put myself in my godfather's shoes, because he's a janitor in Pomona, and I'm like, damn, if my Nino was here, look at the whole mess he had to pick up. So I think about it and I just do it myself. Like, it doesn't even take me 10 minutes to help him clean. It takes me like 4 minutes to help him just clean up all the trash on the tables, and boom, let's go to our next class. My sixth slide is my moral principle. A moral principle that I like and I like to see is integrity. I cannot stand people that lie. Like, what is the point of lying? yeah, it was invented to use, but lying doesn't get you anywhere. It's always good to say the truth. It's always good to know what is right and what is wrong, and it is always good to for you to take blame of your own self, so you learn to not do it next time. It's not good to be lying. Lying could get you not into many problems, but it could probably get other people into problems, because if it's something about somebody stealing the store, and if you say it wasn't you, then they blame it on another worker, and the other worker gets fired, and you never know what could happen. So it's always good to have integrity and be honest. Honest is a very good one as well. Integrity has the meaning in it, but it's always good to be honest. And I I'm I'm a human. We've all lied at one point, but I've tried my hardest to not lie, and I have became successful in that, and I like it because I get punished for stuff I do, and I learn from it, and next time I know not to do it again. And that is a positive feeling to me, I believe, because I succeeded in something that was difficult and I was used to doing. My seventh slide is about something that put me down once upon my lifetime. Um, let's make this short. Back when I was like 3 years old, I'd want to say, um, I had broke my hip bone, and I had surgery and all of that. And when we started going to elementary, when all the bully begins around like third and fourth grade, when all the cool kids think they're big and bad, um, a lot of um, a lot of kids would call me crippled. They would call me, um, what else would they call me? Crippled and penguin when I started to walk. I was on the wheelchair for roughly 2 months, and then I was on crutches for like 3 months because I had to give one of my legs a rest. One of them got healed 100%. The other one was not 100% yet, so I had to wait that amount for it to heal. And and when I started to walk again, people would call me penguin for the reason that I would walk and I would kind of like wobble like a penguin. And I didn't have a problem with it. I never paid attention to them. I was like, it'll end at one point. Never did. Um, I went to fifth grade. I fell off my bicycle. I fractured the same part where I had already had my surgery. I fractured it, went in for surgery again, and people again, they started saying it, and I was just like, okay, it's fine. Like, let them be. That's when I was on the wheelchair and the crutches, and I was like, that's fine. Like, let them say whatever they want. And then when I got into like sixth grade, that's when it finally got to me in sixth grade. I put up with everybody for so long, and in sixth grade, people. That's when I was on the crutches, and people took the crutches and they were playing with them, and they thought it was cool. But I had already considered that bullying. I never spoke up for myself. I always stayed quiet, and I was like, let it. But it actually got to me, and it would get me sad, and I just didn't want to go to school anymore. But I never said anything. I would tell my mom, I don't want to go, and she's like, oh, you have to. And I'm like, all right. And I would go, and hopefully the day went by fast, and yeah. But that was the moment that brought me down. That was the first time that people would bully me. And after that, no, I brought an end to a kid because he started telling me, and he started to spread the word, telling people to call me that. And I put an end to him. I was like, you better calm down before things go down, like I basically like told him some stuff, and he was able to stop. But overall, that was something that caused me to bring me down. Other than that, any other thing doesn't really bug me. Doesn't really bug me or anything. It's just that, and here we are living a good life, and I'm happy, and that's what matters. Like, at the end of the day, I finally got over it, and I was like, you know what? Like, forget what people say. Like, you be you, do you, and don't let anybody else bring you down, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all live how we want to live, and nobody or anyone is going to stop us from doing that. And I just brought my hopes up, and I was happy, and I never cared what anybody said. And I just, now nobody calls me that. I probably still do walk like that. I don't know, but I mean, I'm good, and that's what matters, you know? My eighth slide is about a good change in me. The good change, as you can see in the picture, is angriness to calmness. I want to mainly work on this because there's little things that get me mad super easy, and that's something that I want to change, you know, because it's not even the big things that get me mad. It's the little minor things, and the minor things is what affects me. And I don't know, like, it just really pisses me off. And if I see something that's not happening to me, somebody else going through it, that's what pisses me off. If it's something that happens to me, I get mad, but I'm like, whatever. But once I see something once I see something else happening to another person, like, for example, them getting made fun of, people jumping people, that gets me so mad, and I respond to it myself. Like, I don't care if the person getting bullied doesn't stick up, but I help. I go in there and I break it apart. And if the guys want to fight me, I would fight them. And it was a disaster, but that's something that I need to work on, because you never know where those problems could lead to, you know? And I want to work on from me getting mad so easily to calmness, because me and my mom have the same attitude, and we tend to crash a lot all the time. We crash a lot, and we end up fighting, and we argue, and all of that stuff. And my mom is somebody that I should have all my respect to, because she was my father and my mother figure, and I believe that she deserves some respect, you know. And that's why I want to change that, because she does some things that get me mad, and when I get mad, it's harder for me to calm down, and it's just like that, and we go at it, and I know it's not right, because it's just not. And you know when something is right and when something isn't, and that needs to change. My ninth slide talks about an accomplishment that I want, and that is to finish college. This is barely my first year, so I still have quite a couple of years to go, and it's not a very fun experience right now because of this whole COVID thing. I honestly was looking forward to actually going to school, being able to participate in stuff, being able to get to know the campus, being able to meet all new grown adults. I was ready for the next level, and this COVID messed everything up. It messed up what I have expected in college. But it's okay. Everything happens for a reason. I'll eventually see it if we end up going back to school or not. It's okay, you know. And I don't have any other option but to try my best. And that's what I've been doing. When we started back in, when was it? In August? I thought it was difficult. I actually got very hard classes because I'm in the Promise program, and I had to have a certain amount of units covered, and I covered them with some super difficult classes worth like 5 or 4 credits, and those are like the most difficult ones. But I put in my effort to it. I was able to successfully pass. It probably wasn't the best grade because I was kind of slacking it a little bit, getting used to it, and I'm not very good at this. I barely learned how to use this app. I forgot what it's called. If it's this screen recording thing. I tried to use it in my last month in my other class. It was super difficult. I couldn't find the buttons. I couldn't do much on the computer, and it was pissing me off. And right now I'm doing it on my phone. It seemed to be easier, but I want to get it going on my computer. So hopefully I'm able to successfully do that. But my main goal is to finish college. That's my first step, because I want to be a registered nurse. And by that, I need to finish college, receive my associates, get my bachelor's in nursing, obtain a license, and I have all this other stuff to do. My career, like I just said, it's to be a registered nurse. I see that registered nurses get a 401k. They get very good benefits. They offer so many benefits for yourself and your family, like such as health insurance, dentist insurance, and all of that stuff. And those are very good benefits that you cover by working there, by working with them, because not so many jobs offer all of that. And that's a bill less that somebody has to pay, that I'd have to pay out of my pocket for my whole family. And registered nurse is a short career, and I've always said to myself, if I'm not going to continue a long career, then at least a short career. And I think this is a short, fair career, and maybe by being a registered nurse, maybe I want to go up and then be maybe I want to be a surgeon one day, and I just go up the ladder, do more schooling, afford the schooling with the money that I get from an RN, and go from there, and that's just who I am. I like to help people out. Like I've said, I want to spread positivity to those people, because those people, maybe they could be very sick, maybe they don't have much life left, or whatever it is. It's always good to spread those people some great positivity. My 11th slide basically talks about my dream. I have a dream of being able to accomplish my college, and then to finish my schooling for an RN, and then to successfully become an RN. And at the moment, I have a girlfriend, and she's absolutely wonderful. She has a very good personality. She's very, very outgoing, and I like that. And hopefully she's meant to be. And I eventually want to get married just like anybody else, and have a family of 4 children, which makes a total of 6 if I'm right. And then eventually buy our little house or big house or whatever it is. Eventually buy a nice home, and then our car, and just live a good life. And that is my dream, just to live a good life overall. And always give back to the people that helped you when you needed it the most. And yeah, that's just my dream. Not this one, but okay, for this one, it may seem like I'm a tough person, or that I don't really let things get to me, but I could be sensitive sometimes in a type of way. Don't tell anybody this, but I could be sensitive in a way, because I don't know, like, honestly, like, I'm just sensitive. I don't even know how to say this. I just know that I'm sensitive, because if I argue with my mom, at the end of the day, I'm upset and I'm sad. Of course, you cry because you're letting your emotions out, or anything, and it's normal. But from me, a lot of people think that, oh, you're tough, like, you don't have that. And little do they know, like, that's the thing that gets to me. And sometimes I wish I was insensitive. I actually wish I was tough sometimes, because there's little things that, hey, like, you know what, Carlos, you need to be, like, strong. Like, don't be sensitive. And it's just not it. Like, I'm telling you, it's like the minor stuff that gets to me. Somebody could be... It takes grown-ups to get this side of me. Like teenagers or all of that, they don't get to me. It has to take a grown-up for that to get to me. It could either be my punishment or something, or my mom having a serious conversation, that I get this side out of me. And I just get super sad or whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm just sensitive, and that's what it is. And my girlfriend has actually told me that. I didn't know what to put for this question exactly on our self-concept paper, and I had asked my girlfriend, I was like, hey, you know what, you know me very good, what's a side of me that you think nobody else knows about me? And she's like, sensitive, you're very sensitive. And if she knows, she knows. Like, it could be something where I got my feelings or something with her, or we had a argument, or I'm sensitive and I just apologize overall, even though it wasn't my fault. And that's just how it works, and that's just how life is. And yeah. And I was able to successfully do that. And now I'm sensitive. And if there's something I could change it, I would do it, because I don't like it. And I'm pretty sure people out there that are sensitive wish they weren't sensitive. And yeah. Thank you guys for listening. That's the end of my presentation. And I hope you guys are staying safe during this coronavirus occasion, and stay safe, protect your family, sanitize, do what you guys got to do so this thing ends faster and we could hopefully return back. Have a great night. Have a safe, wish you guys luck. Wish you guys luck for this whole semester, for this whole term. And hopefully one day I meet you guys. Good luck with your guys' presentation.